Are you sure that morning cup of coffee is keeping you sharp, or is it quietly clouding your memory day by day? A 2023 study from the FDA found that nearly 38% of people over 60 were drinking coffee with industrial additives without even knowing it. Some of these additives include anti-freezing agents normally used in airplanes or whitening chemicals found in wall paint. It doesn't stop there. Certain coffees have also been flagged by the FDA for containing compounds that raise cholesterol, damage the liver, trigger arthritis, and cause digestive problems. The risks are especially serious for older adults. If you're at the stage of life where heart health, memory, or digestion matter, this is a video you cannot skip. I'm going to show you 4 types of coffee you should absolutely avoid, and 4 types you can safely drink every day if you know how. And here are 4 types of coffee that, if you are over 60, you should cross off your kitchen list starting today. Flavored instant coffee mixes. Have you ever wondered how much of that instant coffee you drink every morning is actually real coffee? For many older adults, instant coffee seems like the easy choice because it is cheap, convenient, lower in caffeine, and comes in pleasant flavors like vanilla mocha or hazelnut. But it is also one of the biggest traps for anyone over 60. The truth is, some of these products contain less than 10% real coffee. The rest is a cocktail of refined, sugar-hydrogenated, palm oil, artificial creamer flavor stabilizers, and even propylene glycol, an additive on the industrial control list that has been used in antifreeze and engine coolant. Do not assume that a small amount won't hurt. That might be true for a healthy 25-year-old. But once you hit 60, your liver no longer filters as fast, your kidneys are less resilient, and every foreign substance you take in can leave visible effects within weeks. Older adults are also easily misled by labels like naturally sweet, low caffeine, or smooth flavor without realizing these are artificial flavors engineered to hold their scent, not to benefit your nervous or digestive system. A 2023 study from Tufts University found that people over 60 who drank coffee with artificial sweeteners and flavorings had a 21% higher risk of mild cognitive impairment. In other words, just a few years down the road, you may notice your memory losing its sharpness, more frequent lapses in focus or confusion, without ever suspecting that the morning coffee mix is to blame. And the real question is it worth it? A box of 50 3-in-1 sachets might cost only $5 or $6. But if it leaves your liver overworked, raises your LDL cholesterol, and fuels silent inflammation in your nervous system, the true price you pay is your long-term health and quality of life. For those living on a fixed income, every item in the cart is a calculation. But weigh it carefully. A cheap product today could lead to hundreds of dollars in liver supplements later, or worse, hospital bills. What makes it even more concerning is that most caramel coconut or strawberry cream flavored instant coffees do not clearly state the ingredient ratios. You have no idea how much of it is sugar and how much is chemical additives. Some brands do not even list all the contents, or they use technical names like mono and diglycerides, maltodextrin, or carrageenan to confuse shoppers. So the real question is, are you drinking coffee or are you drinking an industrial mix dressed up with vanilla flavoring? If you have been drinking this every morning for years, don't panic. But don't ignore it anymore either. Pull that box of coffee out of your pantry, flip it over, and read the fine print. If you see words like palm oil, artificial flavor, glycol, or any ingredient you do not understand, maybe it is time to switch to something that is actually coffee, not something cooked up in a lab. Share in the comments if you have ever had doubts or bad experiences with this kind of coffee. Someone else out there might still be drinking it every day without having a clue. Coffee with artificial non-dairy creamers. Not all coffee is harmful. The real issue is what you add to it, especially if you have a habit of dropping a spoonful of powdered creamer that has no milk, no sugar, but tastes just like the real thing into your morning cup. That so-called non-dairy creamer may sound harmless, even convenient, and safe for people who are lactose intolerant. But if you are over 60 and managing blood pressure, heart health, memory, or your immune system, this might be one of the first things you need to quit right away. Inside that smooth white spoonful is a long list of things your body does not need: titanium dioxide, a whitening agent once flagged for cancer risks; hydrogenated vegetable oil, the source of artery-clogging trans fats; and a range of thickeners, stabilizers, and preservatives you probably cannot even pronounce. The problem is that many people use powdered creamer because they think it is light, lower in fat than real milk, easy to store, and low in calories. But the type of fat in these creamers is actually the hardest for an older body to break down. It does not just raise bad cholesterol, it also strains liver function and makes blood sugar levels fluctuate, especially if you are taking medication or have a history of diabetes. A report from the Environmental Working Group once listed over 50 non-dairy creamers sold in the US that contained titanium dioxide. This ingredient has been banned in consumer products across Europe for its potential effects on the immune system and intestinal cells. Yet in America, it is still quietly present in so-called healthy morning coffee products stacked high on discount store shelves. And we older consumers are usually the last to know. If you have ever felt mild stomach burning after coffee with creamer, or that strange sense of false fullness, bloating, or even slight chest pain without explanation, this silent culprit could be the reason. What makes these products frustrating is not just their contents, but the way they are marketed to deceive. You see the bold words cholesterol-free. But no one tells you that while they contain no cholesterol, they trigger your body to produce more of the bad kind. You see lactose-free and believe it is healthier than fresh milk, but in reality it contains oils that can sit in a garbage bin for over a year without breaking down, and the same is true inside your body. Have you ever wondered why your coffee does not taste the same anymore? Or why a brand you once trusted now leaves you bloated, slightly weak, or even dizzy after drinking it? Maybe it is not the coffee at all. Maybe it is that spoonful of powdered creamer you have been adding every morning for decades. Take a look at the ingredient list again. Ask yourself, does my 60-year-old body really need all of these chemicals? And if I stop using it, will I actually lose enjoyment? Or am I giving myself a few more years of healthier living that I truly deserve? Decaf coffee made with chemical solvents. Many people after 60 switch to decaf thinking it is the safer choice. No worries about sleepless nights, no racing heartbeat, no impact on blood pressure. But here is a truth most people overlook. Not all decaf is created equal, and some kinds may actually be worse than regular coffee. The question you should be asking is, how was the caffeine removed from the bean? If you have never thought about that, you may already be drinking trace amounts of chemical solvent every morning without realizing it. A large portion of cheap decaf coffee on the market is processed using methylene chloride, an industrial solvent once used in paint removers, metal cleaners, and plastics manufacturing. It dissolves the caffeine in coffee beans, then is evaporated under high heat. Sounds fine in theory. But have you ever stopped to wonder what happens to the tiny residues left behind? They end up in your body every single day, sip by sip. And for a body over 60, even trace toxins can leave their mark. According to the EPA, just 200 parts per million of methylene chloride in the air can weaken respiratory function in older adults. So what happens when you drink it even in small leftover amounts, month after month? Reports from independent health groups in the US link this solvent to liver and kidney damage, central nervous system impairment, and in some cases, reduced ability of brain cells to regenerate in areas responsible for memory and balance. Sadly, the decaf brands that rely on methylene chloride are often the ones most familiar to older consumers because they are cheap, widely available, and sold in every big box supermarket. You see the word decaf printed large on the bag, but not a single line explaining how the caffeine was removed. That silence is the warning sign. Because when companies use safer methods like Swiss water or CO2, they proudly display it as a selling point. If they don't mention it, maybe it is because they don't want you to know. The issue here is not only about chemicals, it is about choice. If you are trying to protect your health, cut down on medications, and live a few more strong years with your family, then even a simple decision like which decaf to drink each day is no longer small. You cannot see, smell, or taste methylene chloride, but your body still has to process it. And over time, you may start noticing things no one warned you about: trouble sleeping, even on decaf, persistent mild headaches, unexplained indigestion, or lingering fatigue that even your doctor cannot pin down. All of it may trace back to that morning cup you thought was harmless. So now it is your turn to check the bag of coffee in your kitchen. Does it clearly say how the caffeine was removed? If not, are you really willing to gamble with something so harsh that even paint workers need masks to handle it? Unfiltered boiled coffee. For many older adults, brewing coffee in a French press, making Turkish coffee, or boiling it the old-fashioned way feels like a nostalgic ritual. It delivers a rich, bold flavor so different from today's watered-down drip brews. But what few people realize is that skipping the filter is exactly what causes cholesterol levels to creep up quietly, day after day, especially once you are past 60. When coffee is made without a filter, a compound called caffeine flows directly from the beans into your cup. This is a natural compound that does not get removed unless a paper filter is used. And numerous scientific studies have confirmed that cafestol is one of the strongest dietary boosters of bad cholesterol, the very thing your heart does not need. What makes it worse is that cafestol has no smell, no taste. It is invisible. You will have no idea how much you are consuming each day, especially if you are used to 2 or 3 unfiltered cups every morning. A massive 20-year study in Europe found that people who drank boiled unfiltered coffee had 8 to 10% higher total cholesterol compared to those who drank filtered coffee. For anyone with a history of high blood pressure, heart attack, or cholesterol, managed by medication, that number is a serious warning. You might think I have been drinking this way my whole life and never had an issue. But the problem may have been there all along, simply building up, slowly showing no signs until a blood test or a sudden dizzy spell alerts you for the first time. The issue with unfiltered coffee is not the ritual itself, but the lack of control over how much cafestol your body takes in every single day. If you're healthy with no underlying conditions, your body may balance it out. But for older adults, especially those on statins to control cholesterol, drinking unfiltered coffee can undo the very benefits of the medicine with every cup you enjoy. To make matters worse, many people add butter MCT oil or condensed milk to this style of coffee for extra energy, not realizing that combination is a heavy load on the liver, pancreas, and heart. You might worry that changing your brewing method will ruin the flavor you love. But if a thin paper filter can cut cafestol by more than 90% while still keeping the true taste of coffee, isn't that a worthwhile trade? Coffee should not only wake you up, it should also help you live longer and healthier. Take a look at the coffee maker you use each morning. Does it have a filter? Does it catch what your eyes cannot see, but your liver has to deal with? And if the answer is no, maybe it is time to reconsider. Not to give up coffee, but to make sure coffee does not give up on you. Now that you know there are coffees out there quietly working against your health, that does not mean coffee itself is harmful. In fact, coffee can be incredibly good for you when it's used the right way. And here are 4 kinds of coffee you should enjoy regularly as long as you prepare them properly. Organic medium roast Arabica brewed with filtered water. After years of living in a world of industrial food, perhaps the simplest thing you can do for your health is to return to what is real and close to nature. With coffee that starts with a choice that seems almost too simple: clean beans, medium roasted, brewed with filtered water. It may sound ordinary, but for someone over 60, this choice can make a clear difference for heart health, digestion, and memory. Organic medium roast Arabica has a balanced acidity, is rich in natural antioxidants, carries less harsh bitterness, and is gentler on the stomach lining compared to dark roasts. Organic farming methods not only reduce exposure to pesticide residues, but also ensure that beans are not processed with bleaching agents or harsh preservatives after harvest. For older adults with sensitive stomachs or those managing blood pressure, this is a choice worth considering. Many people ask, why filtered water? The answer lies in today's tap water quality. In many parts of the US, especially small towns or older neighborhoods, aging pipelines can leave tap water carrying chlorine, heavy metals, or bacteria you may not even be aware of. When combined with coffee, these contaminants can affect flavor, disrupt digestion, and even reduce the benefits of compounds like polyphenols. For people taking daily medications, using unfiltered tap water can also trigger side effects you never saw coming. Brewing with filtered water not only gives coffee a cleaner, more authentic taste, but also reduces the risk of chlorine and lead buildup, 2 factors linked to neurodegeneration and memory loss in older adults. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults over 60 who drank pure coffee brewed with filtered water every day maintained cognitive function 17% better than those who drank regular coffee. Interestingly, that same group also showed lower levels of chronic inflammation, a major factor in heart disease and joint pain. So if you have ever felt tired, foggy, or mildly bloated after drinking coffee, don't rush to blame the coffee itself. The problem may be in the water you use or in beans that have been over-processed. Coffee, when prepared the right way, can be a reliable companion for older adults, helping improve memory, gently stabilize blood sugar, support metabolism, and even provide a calm morning ritual without medication. So instead of chasing after a flashy 3-in-1 mix, go back to the basics. A bag of organic medium roast Arabica free of artificial flavoring, a pitcher of filtered water, a simple dripper, a paper filter, or a small machine. Nothing complicated, just enough to make every cup of coffee no longer a gamble, but a conscious part of the lifestyle you choose for yourself. A cold brew. Concentrate. Not everyone over 60 can handle hot coffee. For many, a morning cup leaves the stomach burning, triggers acid reflux, or makes the heart race even after just a few sips. And if you have ever felt that way, it may be because you have not yet tried the kind of coffee that actually fits your body at this stage of life. Cold brew concentrate. What makes cold brew different is not the beans, but the method. Instead of hot water, extraction ground coffee is steeped in cold water for 12 to 24 hours. This technique creates a smoother flavor, less bitterness, and a dramatic reduction in acidity, on average 60 to 70% lower than traditional hot brewed coffee. For anyone with stomach issues or prone to irritation, cold brew can feel like a real lifesaver. You can drink it in the morning without worrying about bloating, stomach cramps, or losing your midday nap. Cold brew also helps the body absorb caffeine more slowly and steadily, instead of flooding the system like hot coffee. That is ideal for older adults who do not need the full jolt of a college student, but simply want a gentle, lasting alertness. Another bonus is that you do not need much. Since it comes concentrated, all it takes is diluting with water or a splash of unsweetened almond milk to make a cup. This is especially helpful for people managing fluid intake, those with mild kidney issues, or anyone who cannot drink large amounts of liquid throughout the day. That said, cold brew has a downside if you pick the wrong bottled version. Many store-bought cold brews are loaded with refined sugar, caramel flavoring, or preservatives to extend shelf life. That is where cold brew turns from helpful to harmful if you do not read the label carefully. Some brands contain up to 20 grams of sugar per serving, the same as a mini can of soda. You think you are drinking a healthier coffee, but in reality, you may be spiking your blood sugar without realizing it. The simple solution: make your own cold brew at home if you can. All you need is pure coffee, clean water, a large glass jar, and some patience. That way you know exactly what goes into your body without relying on a factory or bottling line. If you have to buy it, look for one labeled unsweetened, with no preservatives, and with clear details about bean origin and brewing method. Remember, what works for someone younger may not work for someone past 60. The right coffee for you is not always about taste or price, but about how it treats your body quietly day after day. Have you ever tried cold brew? And if you have, which way do you prefer, making it at home or grabbing a bottle? Do not hesitate to share, because sometimes one small tip from you could save someone else from a week of stomach pain. Coffee with collagen peptides. There is one thing almost everyone feels clearly after turning 60. The body no longer bounces back the way it used to. Shoulder aches, sore knees, stiff joints, sagging skin, thinning hair. It is not because you have lived an unhealthy life, but because collagen, the key protein that keeps your bones, skin, joints, and even blood vessels strong, begins to decline rapidly after age 50. This is why coffee with collagen peptides has been gaining attention as a smart alternative, especially for older adults who want not only alertness, but also gentle support for connective tissue every day. Unlike regular collagen powder, which many have complained is hard to dissolve, leaves a fishy aftertaste, or causes bloating, collagen peptides are hydrolyzed, meaning they are broken down into smaller molecules the body can absorb more easily. When mixed into hot coffee, these peptides do not break down, do not alter the taste, but quietly deliver much-needed protein that the body is severely lacking. A morning coffee with a scoop of collagen peptides is more than just a way to start the day. It helps your joints move more smoothly and nourishes your skin from within, something no expensive cream can truly achieve. Some people worry that adding collagen to coffee is just another marketing fad, but clinical research tells a different story. In recent studies, adults over 60 who consume 10 grams of collagen peptides daily for 6 weeks experience significant improvements in skin elasticity, reduce knee pain, and lower inflammation markers. Not all collagen is the same. The best choice is collagen sourced from grass-fed cattle, free of growth hormones, and certified for purity. Cheaper products are often mixed with fillers or lack transparency about their origin, which may irritate sensitive digestive systems. And do not confuse collagen peptides with so-called beauty coffees sold in stores, which often contain artificial flavors, sugar, or additives unsuitable for people managing diabetes or stomach issues. The exciting part is that when collagen is added in the right way, people often notice more than just less back pain or stiffness in the morning. Hair may feel thicker, skin firmer, nails stronger. These are small but powerful signals. The body's way of thanking you after decades of serving you without being given the raw materials it needed. In that sense, coffee stops being just a stimulant and becomes a quiet tool of repair, helping you hold on to mobility, not just in your joints, but in your daily rhythm of life. If you have dismissed the idea of adding collagen to coffee because you thought it was for young women, maybe it is time to reconsider. The ones who need it most are actually those past 60, where every easy step and every stretch in the morning feels like a priceless gift of health. Coffee with MCT oil and Ceylon cinnamon. Some people drink coffee just to stay awake. Others want their morning coffee to do more. Support memory, burn energy more efficiently, and prevent that drained feeling after breakfast. For them, coffee with MCT oil and Ceylon cinnamon is worth considering. MCT oil, short for medium-chain triglycerides, is a special kind of fat that the liver can quickly convert into energy without being stored as body fat. That means the body can use MCT as a clean fuel without putting stress on the pancreas, spiking blood sugar, or causing that post-meal slump. This makes it especially valuable for people who are managing blood sugar, trying to maintain a healthy weight, or no longer respond well to fast-digesting carbs. When added to hot coffee, MCT oil blends smoothly without creating the greasy film coconut oil often leaves, and it does not alter the natural taste of coffee. In fact, many people find their coffee tastes creamier, goes down easier, and keeps them feeling full for longer. MCT oil also comes with another important benefit: memory support. Some small studies suggest that MCT provides ketones, a backup energy source for the brain when glucose is not used effectively, something common in adults with early cognitive decline. Of course, MCT is not a cure, but shifting the brain's fuel source away from sugar is a strategy many nutrition experts recommend. And the cinnamon. Choosing Ceylon cinnamon makes all the difference. Unlike the common cassia, cinnamon Ceylon has very low coumarin, meaning it is safe for daily use without harming the liver. It has a milder aroma and, more importantly, helps manage blood sugar after meals. Just a small sprinkle into your coffee can slow glucose absorption, reduce sugar cravings, and ease insulin fluctuations. All things the aging body struggles with. The combination of MCT and Ceylon cinnamon is not just another trendy internet recipe. It truly works, and you will notice it if you stick with it. Many who tried it for a few weeks reported clearer focus, less eye strain after breakfast, and steady energy lasting until lunchtime without needing a snack. The key is to pick the right ingredients. MCT should be pure, not diluted with cheap coconut oil. Cinnamon should be clearly labeled Ceylon cinnamon, not cassia. And most important of all, do not add sugar or sweetened condensed milk, because those will cancel out the blood sugar benefits you are trying to achieve. Try at once a simple cup of coffee with MCT oil and Ceylon cinnamon first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. You may discover that true alertness is not the quick rush caffeine gives, but the steady, clear, light feeling of a body running the way it should. Coffee can be your best friend each morning, or it can quietly push you further from the health you think you are protecting. Just a few small changes in how you choose your coffee, how you brew it, and what you add can make a profound difference for memory, joints, heart health, and digestion. What matters most is knowing what you are drinking. After that, your body will take care of the rest, and thank you in its own way.
This video does not promote division within the United States or encourage segregation. All content is presented for the purpose of exploration, analysis, and fostering discussion based on current events, public sentiment, and social trends. We fully respect the United States Constitution and all federal regulations. If today's analysis made you think, drop a comment so we can keep the conversations going. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you will never miss our next independent deep dive.